everyone, it's Christy with Christy's Beautiful Life, and I want to apologize about the lighting today. It is pouring rain, which we needed very badly, so I'm not complaining, but I think my lighting's a little off, so I do apologize. I'm here to do the end of August layout share for you. This one is not so bad. I think there's only 5 layouts. And in September, I'm gonna probably forecast the fact that I'm only gonna have 1 share because I go back to full-time at work, so life is going back to normal, which means my scrapbooking slows down a little. So it won't be like this summer where it just got tons done. Anyways, let me get right into it. So this is the layout I literally just finished maybe 2 minutes ago, and it's not very heavily embellished because there's so much writing. I'm kind of thinking about going back and doing a little bit more embellishing, and I still have to figure out what the actual date is for this. But it's just talking about a story of how when I was about 2 or 3, my grandparents had come to visit, and I was playing in their car while they were packing up to go, and I kept saying, "I go wish," because I couldn't talk correctly. I'm 2 or 3 here. And so I would say, "I go wish you, Grandma, I go wish you." And so to please me, they said okay, and they packed a bag for me, and my parents really thought I was gonna make it like a block down the road before I'm like, "Yep, time to go home." But I didn't, and my grandparents at the time lived like 8 hours away, so it was quite a drive, but apparently I did really well, and I spent an entire week with them. And so that's just what the story is. Of course, I don't remember it, so this is all me writing about what my parents or my grandma had told me about it. And then I kind of tie it into how I can't believe my parents let me do this, because I don't think I could ever allow Jackson to be gone for that long. So I kind of did add that in. And then I just said, I just cherish these photos and this memory. So fun. It's a story I've been wanting to tell for a long time. I had scrapped it once, but not in the correct way. So it is a refresh, but I didn't record it as a series. So I just did it myself. And I really love this. I love telling my story. You guys know that. This one I will share last because it's smaller. This is a layout I created for Victoria Marie Facebook group. Jen Stokes' weekend challenge last weekend was to create a layout about your style, and so I did that, and I have a little separate video on it. It's a quick 5-minute video talking about why I chose what I chose. But the photo is simply a photo of my coffee that I took one Sunday morning, and the journaling is just talking about how there's something about Sunday mornings, like the hush and the quietness and the stillness of a Sunday morning. There's nothing like it. And I just kind of talked about that. And it was kind of my little ode to Sundays and the meaning of a Sunday to me. So there's that. I did have one of my little birdies that you will see. I have a massive haul video coming, but I am receiving them in small chunks because I sent it all to my parents in the States so the shipping would be cheaper. And so my mom brings them up when she can, but it's a huge order, so she just brings them up in small chunks so that we don't have to pay duty on it. So a little cheat there. But yeah, so this one's just titled My Sunday Morning Coffee, and I really like how that turned out. This is one that apparently my glue not working because this keeps happening. I don't know what's wrong with this glue. I've never had problems with it before, and now all of a sudden I am. It's just very, very simple layout. I just wanted to get these photos on here. I titled it Happy Holidays. When it goes in the album, I will make a slit because then there is the second photo, and all it says is, "Our first and only Christmas as a family of 2. I'll always cherish these Xmas photos." So we only spent 1 year without Jackson in our life, and so there is, I just titled it The Two of Us, which I thought was really cute, and there is that. So I like it. Very, very simplistic, but I wanted to do, I'm for some reason in this mood to do Christmas layouts. I don't know where it's coming from when it's August, the end of August. Why would I want to do Christmas? But I do. And I simply just did a little bit of string so it looked like a banner. And I like the way it turned out. And then there's this one, which again, back to tons of journaling. I just did this one morning, and I wanted to use this paper. I have the hardest time scrapping with green, so I really wanted to try to use it. And I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. And it's just talking about how when Jackson goes to the park, he's very adventurous, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't care so much about going to the park to play on the playground, with the exception of the swings. He loves the swings. But he'd rather just play with the bark and put it on the slide and then brush it off or put it somewhere. And he's just more into exploring about what's on the ground and all that stuff than he actually is about the playground. So I just kind of told that story, and then I titled this More Than a Park, which was quite fitting. And this is a scrap lift from something I found on Pinterest. So it wasn't my original idea. This is from the lifted episode that was posted yesterday, and this is lifting Banning Lane, so Danielle, and she did a layout about how a family of 3 is still a family. It was a really pretty and very significant layout, and so Jen and I decided to lift it. I didn't take such a serious take on it. I just did it with doing photos from Canada Day. Sorry, my brain is just going numb here. And I did do, it's almost exact scrap lift. I did the same embellishment clusters where they were. The only difference is I titled on, like I did my journaling on here. And I think she had hidden journaling, and she had her title, and then she had a subtitle, which was really pretty. And I just chose to kind of take a bit of that by using the white, but making it my title. So that's that one. And I did use a doily up, which is great. I'm really trying to use up some of my supplies. I was also really excited to use this little heart right here. I haven't had it for a long time, but I've had it and I really wanted to use it. So I really love the way it worked. And technically you could take that heart out and it could be 2 pieces, but I really liked it together. So I left it alone. And then this one was another one I just created one day, not recording or anything, just having some fun playing. I used my stencil here, and I used a chalk ink, not thinking about the fact that chalk ink doesn't dry. So every time I rub my hand on it, I smear it. But it's just a tiny bit of added dimension to it. And it's just from the Amy Tan, the one that has all of those 5-6 different stencils. So a lot of people have that, and I now have it too, which makes me happy. I used some actual packaging and then did my title for that. And there's just this little hello with the banners. And I finally used a globe. I have the absolute hardest time using globes, so I was excited to get one used up. I used some scrap here as well. And then I did this very much Jen Scow type of layering. This is where I learned it, is from Jen, so that's why I say it's from her. I'm not sure if she actually did it, but that's where I learned it from. So, and it is simply just talking about how his first ride, and this is his ride home from the hospital, and then there is hidden journaling here. So it's not quite noticeable that it's hidden. I'm probably going to be the only one. I will make a slit, so maybe they'll notice if people are flipping through it. And I don't do hidden journaling because it's hidden like it's personal. I do hidden journaling because where else was I going to put journaling here? Like, if I put it anywhere else, it was going to ruin the aesthetic of my layout, and I didn't want to do that. There's words as the background. I chose a pattern paper that had words to begin with, so that would make it even more confusing. So it has nothing to do with the fact that the journaling is personal in any way, just that I wanted to keep my layout clean and not messy. So that's a lot of reasons why I do hidden journaling, more than I'm trying to hide a story. So there's that one. And finally, this is one I just did for this Monday's episode of my refresh. And I am so happy with the way it turned out. This was originally a 12 by 12 layout I had done with green, like bright green, weird colored cardstock. And I made the layout back in like 2009, so it was quite old. I have changed a lot in my designs and stuff. So even though 2009 probably doesn't seem like that long ago to a lot of people, for me, it's a completely different style, and I'm now into what I love. So I re-scrap things. It's simply titled Bouncy Bouncy because when I went to go visit my grandparents, different time, this is a Christmas time, but it is the same place, like same house and everything. But it was a really fun game too. They had a long straight staircase that went down into their basement, but it was covered with carpet, so it wasn't like super hard or anything, but it was always really fun to go down the stairs just one after the other, and every time I'd go down I said bouncy bouncy, and so that's where the title came from. And then the journaling just kind of goes into a bunch of stuff about what I remember of the house, how the basement used to scare me, just a lot of fantastic journaling about stuff that I love about this house. And I'm going to have a pocket page beside it in the layout with a bunch of other little stories, because as I was writing this, all these memories came flooding back, and I'm like, oh yes, I've got to write about that. So I am going to have a second, it's going to be a 2-pager and it will have all the little stories in there as well. So that's what I've got for the end of August, and I will be back in September for another one. Other than that, you will see all of my regular lifted and refresh videos, and September is also, I'm starting the new series with Rachel Reynolds where we are calling it Let's Get Sketchy with Chrissy and Rachel. So stay tuned for that as well, because our first video for that will be up the second week in September. Okay guys, thanks so much. Bye.